morning, and welcome to the Invader Report. I am Dan Ford, and this is the news. Seeing the ballet is always an amazing experience, and now is your chance to see it with your friends. There are still spots available for any student hoping to see the Sleeping Beauty Ballet trip next Wednesday. Come to the Arts Office or the Dance Studio for a form. Please use cash online. See Ms. McCulley with any questions. Innisdale's track and field team competed at OFSA Regionals in May and had some very impressive results. 25 people qualified for OFSA last week between 4 different relay teams and 16 individual events. A special mention goes out to Justice Archer, Aaron Hodge, and Madeline Rampton, who all qualified in 2 individual events and relay. Way to go, Invaders. The Invaders slow pitch team capped off a perfect 6-0 season yesterday with a hard-fought victory over Holly Trinity. The senior ultimate frisbee team finished their undefeated season this year after winning the GB title on Tuesday for a 3rd time in a row. After being down 2 points, they came roaring back, winning 7-4 against Eastview. A huge congratulations to all the grade 12s who were the anchors and mentors on the team, and the grade 11s who provided a strong supporting cast. Great finish to an amazing season. As many of you know, Barrie has been in the running for a new university for quite some time, and it only makes sense. Barrie is now a bustling metropolis full of young minds ready for the joy of life after high school. Barrie isn't short on land for this either. Heck, I remember the old racetrack that used to be at the bottom of Essa in Fairview that now looks like it's a few years into the apocalypse. That seems like prime real estate. Barrie also only has 1 college campus, so I think that makes it an excellent candidate for a new university. So, when the decision came by the province, they looked at all the candidates and decided that above all else, everyone else that submitted an application, the new city to receive a university would be Markham. Yes, that's the veritable pin dropping. Yes, Markham, Ontario is apparently the most underserved and deserving city for a new university. And I can just see the leaps of joy coming from people as they found out that they would have a new institution to send their young people and further their education. If only there was one other fact that could possibly change our opinions on the matter. Well, as it turns out, there are 2. First off, Markham happens to be a part of something called the GTA. No, not the Grand Theft Auto, but the Greater Toronto Area. And aside from hot dog carts and crack smoking mayors, it also happens to have one other thing in abundance, and that is universities. Also, Markham has 10 other universities, all within a 60-kilometer radius of where the new one is being built. Anyone else scratching their heads? Because I still am. Clearly, there's been some sort of a mistake here. I mean, that is the only explanation that could possibly make sense. Nope, there's no mistake, and that's the scary part. They say that university is a place to further the education, but also a place where we learn how to analyze things and make the best possible decision. Well, if that's true, then maybe the people who made this decision should have attended one before deciding where to build one. With exams approaching, it is important that students are prepared and aware of the exam schedule, as examinations will take place in reverse order of period numbers. The 5th period exam will take place on Thursday, June 18th, 3rd and 4th period exams on Friday, June 19th, and 2nd period exam on Monday, June 22nd, and 1st period exam on Tuesday, June 23rd. This schedule is in place 2nd semester to accommodate grade 12 students moving on to post-secondary education, as most grade 12 classes take place during period 5, and universities and colleges need grades in as soon as possible. ISS students taking a senior level history next year, or who took one this year, are eligible for the Washington and Gettysburg field trip next year. While staying in Washington, D.C., students will get the chance to visit the Smithsonian Museum of American History and Aerospace, the Lincoln Memorial, and the Vietnam Memorial, and the Battle of the Fields at Sharpsburg and Gettysburg. If you haven't seen Mr. Reed regarding the initial paperwork then for the trip, then you need to get to Portable 6 ASAP. The trip is so cheap, you can't afford not to go. That's it for this week's edition of the Invader Report. We'll see you next week.